Croeso pawb to the spring sale PSN sale. This is a massive sale, although I have to say, it's not the best sale. A lot of games that are on sale here have been on better deals in other sales. But don't worry, I found the best ones, and there are some games that haven't been on sale for ages in this sale, so there are some games worth looking at. So if you like the sound of finding some cool games to play, and saving a lot of money, don't forget to subscribe. You're welcome here anytime. Now this sale ends on the 10th of April, so that'll be your last day to pick up these deals. Let's look at the games. First up is my star by Back 4 Blood Ultimate Edition, PS4 and PS5. It was released in 2021, so it's 3 years old, and it's on a 90% discount for the price of £9.99, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really good deal considering it's nearly £100 normally. Is that overpriced? Of course it is, but it's still a massive saving over what you would have paid anyway. And this edition includes the Battle Hardened skin pack, in-game items, and the annual pass of 3 full expansions, including 2 new story campaign chapters, a new PvE area, 4 new characters to play as, and tons of weapons, skins, and more. There's a huge amount of content included in this, which is a really good deal. In this first-person shooter, you get to fight in a war against the Triton, once human parasite hosts, now turned creatures bent on devouring the remains of human civilization. It features 4-player online co-op, 8 characters to play as, weapon and item customization, and a card modifier system as well, to add a bit of variety to the gameplay. Now I will say it's a bit of a shame there's no split screen or local co-op. I think that would be a really good addition. But hey, if you've got friends that you play games with, this is a really cool game for that. I'm not sure I'd recommend it as a solo game, but it's definitely a good pick if you've got friends to play with. Now this game's based on the Left 4 Dead series, and it's even made by some of the developers from that, but you never know which ones, so you don't know if it's the good ones or the bad ones, or maybe a bit of both, you never know. Either way, when this game came out, it got mixed reviews. A lot of people didn't like it, but Left 4 Dead's a bit of a holy grail of a game, so I don't think people will always be happy with a game like it. I think there'll always be a group of people that will hate any game that tries to be like it and isn't Left 4 Dead. But since the expansions have come out, the reviews have got way better, and people seem to really like it now. So now the initial, feedback is over, then you're getting a better picture of what the game is like. And from what I can see in the reviews I've seen, it just seems to be a really good game with a lot of extra content added. So if you're looking for a really good game to play with your friends, definitely take a look at this. It's better than a lot of people think it is. Like I said, it's my star buy, and you can save a lot of money on it as well. It's undeniable about that. And hey, if you've never played a first-person shooter before, then I wouldn't recommend starting here. You can get some really good AAA first-person shooters, cheaper than this, and ones with legendary themes or stories or characters as well. Pretty much the only exception is if you're looking for a game to play with a group of friends, in which case, definitely take a look at this. But if not, I'll let you know about other games in other sales, so don't worry. Our next game is Desdara Trials of Fear Edition. It was released in 2022, so it's 2 years old, and it's on a 75% discount for the low price of £2.99, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a pretty good deal, as this game includes 3 new areas, a new boss, new music, more story elements, a secret ending, powers and mechanics as well. So you're getting a lot of extra for your money, which is pretty cool. In this 2D Metroidvania platformer, the world of Salt is on the brink of collapse, with the population being oppressed and isolated, and you play as Desdara, a hero risen to save them and be their last hope. Now, this genre has a huge amount of competition, and some really big AAA ones as well, so you do have a massive amount of choice. But hey, if you've played a lot of the more popular ones and you're looking for another one, this one looks really decent, and it's pretty cheap as well. So if you're a fan of Metroidvanias or you like pixel art platformers, why not take a look at this? It looks really good, and the reviews are pretty good as well, so why not check it out if you like the look of it. And hey, if you've never played a Metroidvania before, then I wouldn't recommend starting here. You can get much bigger AAA ones that have much better reviews and lineage than this for about the same price or less, so you're much better off looking for one of them instead. But don't worry, I'll let you know when they're on sale next. Deadlight Directors Cut is our next game. It was released in 2016, so it's 8 years old, and it's on an 85% discount for the real low price of £1.29, which is a really good price, as this edition includes improved gameplay, controls, and 2 new game modes as well. In this 2D survival adventure, it's set in a zombie apocalypse where you get to play as Randall Wayne, a father searching through a destroyed Seattle for his long-lost family, and you must fight, sneak, and utilize your environment and your limited resources in order to finally find your family. This game has pretty good reviews, and it's really cheap as well. Zombie genres may be a bit of a cliche these days and overused in games, but hey, if that doesn't bother you, and you're looking for a really cool little survival adventure, then you might take a look at this. It's got a pretty good story, really good gameplay, and I think it's a bit different than the other games around. It interests me, and if you like the look of it as much as I am, then definitely check it out. It might be your new favourite game you've played. And hey, if you've never played a 2D survival adventure before, then I would recommend starting here. It may not be the biggest AAA game around, but it's got really good reviews and it's really cheap as well, so you can't go far wrong really. If you like the look of it, definitely check it out. It's well worth a look. We have a point-and-click adventure next, Edna and Harvey's New Eyes. It was released in 2019, so it's 5 years old, and it's on a 90% discount for the low price of £1.59, which is pretty good. In this game, Lily is a very well-behaved young girl living in a convent, but when her best friend mysteriously vanishes, she must find the courage to overcome her fears and go to look for them. It features bizarre characters and a wacky humour, which is pretty cool if you like that sort of thing. Now I have to say with all point-and-click adventures, they're not for everyone. The logic's a bit obtuse sometimes, and the puzzles can be frustrating if you're not used to these sorts of games. But hey, if you're a fan of point-and-click adventures, or you just really like the look of this game, then why not take a look at it? It's at a really good price, and it's a really good quality game as well. And hey, if you've never played a point-and-click adventure before, then you could start here, as it's a really cheap price for a really good game, but you can get bigger AAA ones for about the same price as well, so you could wait for one of them instead. Either way, I'm here for you, and I'll let you know when more are on sale next. We have a VR game next, Freediver Triton Down. It was released in 2020, so it's 4 years old, and it's on a 50% discount for the price of £5.99, which is pretty decent. This VR survival game requires move controllers, so if you don't have them you can't play it, which is great because you don't want to play a swimming game without being able to swim, right? Especially in VR, that's the whole point. In this game, you are trapped in a capsized research ship. As a world-class free diver, you must explore the ship and find a way to escape back to the surface while outmaneuvering the water's lethal surge. Now, I may be a bit mentally disturbed or something, but when I was a kid, I loved swimming, and one of my favourite things to play when I was a kid was pretending to be trapped in a sunken ship. Any movie I seen that had a section where you had to swim underwater, I'd hold my breath with them, and I loved the idea of it. What I'm basically saying is, I love the look of this game, and I'm going to pick it up at some point, and it's got really good reviews as well, and it's a really unique experience. VR's all about cool stuff that you can't experience outside of it, and this is one of those examples. So if you're like me and you're a bit of a weirdo that likes swimming underwater and being trapped in things underwater, then why not look at this? It really interests me, and if you like the idea of this as much as I do, I'm sure you'll have a great time. Weirdos unite, am I right? And hey, if you've never played a VR survival game before, and you don't have some weird interest in being trapped in an underwater ship, then this game may not be for you. But you don't have many options in this genre, this is pretty much it. So if you do like the look of it, or you're interested, then why not take a look at it? If not, you don't really have any other options, so I guess you'll have to pick up a different game instead. Oh look, another VR game, Ghost Giant. It was released in 2019, so it's 5 years old, and is on an 85% discount for the low price of £2.99, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a fantastic deal, as it's normally at least double this price even when it's on sale. Now this VR adventure requires move controllers, so if you don't have it, you can't play it, which is great because this game is based around you picking stuff up with your hands and moving things in the environment, so without this, then you wouldn't really be worth playing, especially in VR. In this game you get to help the citizens of Sandcourt Village solve their quirky problems by manipulating the diorama world around you. With a story written by acclaimed writer Sarah B. Alfgren, it promises a pretty cool and interesting experience. And it looks pretty cool as well. VR is really good because you see games you wouldn't normally see. So if you're looking for a chill, relaxed game to play in VR with some quirky characters and a nice little village to explore, then you might want to check this out. I like the look of it, and I'm probably going to pick it up myself at some point. Why not take a look? And hey, if you've never played a VR adventure before, then you could start here. There's not a lot of action in it, so if that worries you, you can pick up something else like Moss in another sale. But hey, if you really like the look of this one, it's worth starting here. But if not, or you want something a bit different, don't worry. I'll let you know when they're on sale next. We have a really cool looking game next, Monster Sanctuary. It was released in 2020, so it's 4 years old, and it's on a 75% discount for the price of £3.99, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a pretty good price. In this Metroidvania monster tamer game, you get to catch, evolve, and train 111 monsters as you explore Sanctuary with the help of your monsters and their abilities. It features a unique skill tree for every monster, strategic combat, PvP online battles, optional game modes for more replayability, and basically a lot of fun it looks like. The fact that it's got a skill tree per monster means it's got much more customization per character than anything like Pokemon, which really intrigues me. This game looks awesome. It basically looks like a really cool and interesting Pokemon mixed with some other genres as well, which if it turns out to be as good as it sounds, then I'm really surprised I haven't heard about this before. I'd expect it to take off and be a really big hit. And going by the reviews I've seen, it might just be a hidden gem that no one's found yet, because everybody that plays it seems to really love this game and get addicted to it. So anyway, if you like taming games like Pokemon or Jade Cocoon or some of the older games like that, then why not take a look at this? It's very different, it's very unique, it's not just a rip-off, and it looks like a really amazing game. It's piqued my interest, and I'm definitely going to pick it up at some point. So if you're as interested as me, definitely take a look at it. And hey, if you've never played a Monster Tamer game before, then there's not a lot around really, which is surprising considering Pokemon's so popular. But hey, there are a few options. This one looks like a really good one, but there are more normal ones that are more like Pokemon and the run-of-the-mill ones. So if you want one of them instead, then come back when the next sale's on, and I'll let you know if there's any to pick up. Up next is the Dark Eye Chains of Satinav. It was released in 2012, so it's 12 years old, and it's on a 90% discount for a price of £1.59, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really good deal. In this point-and-click adventure, the king awaits the arrival of high-ranking dignitaries to broker peace, but a plague of aggressive crows that attack on sight are rumoured to be causing dark nightmares for the populace, and you are summoned to rid the kingdom of this plague. Now, the reviews are pretty mixed on this. Mostly they're really positive, but the negative reviews say that basically the game's a bit obvious, the story's a bit obvious, and that in general it's just a bit of a 6 out of 10 rather than like an 8 or something. But hey, that doesn't mean it's bad, it just means it's not amazing. So if you're a fan of point-and-click adventures and you haven't looked at this, then why not check it out? I really like the art style, I think it looks really cool, and the story may be simple, but at least it's a bit different than most point-and-click adventures. It's unusual to see something a bit fantasy-driven, which is nice. So if you like the idea of a fantasy point-and-click adventure, apart from my usual warnings for this genre, the puzzles can be a bit obtuse and the logic isn't always as straightforward as you'd like, but hey, this genre comes with that, so if you're used to it, you're used to it. Why not check it out if you like the theme of this one? And hey, if you've never played a point-and-click adventure before, then I'm not sure I'd recommend starting here. Mainly because some of the reviews don't like the story, and that's kind of a key thing to point-and-click adventures. But the good news is there's quite a lot of them around, and there's a lot of different themes and different stories in all of them, so there's plenty to choose from. But don't worry, I'll keep an eye out, and I'll let you know when there's more on sale. On a side note, the sequel to this game is also on sale for the same price, so if you're interested in this one and you want the sequel as well, then you could pick up both if you feel like it. I love the next game, The Deadly Tower of Monsters. It was released in 2016, so it's 8 years old, and it's on an 85% discount for the low price of £1.79, which is a really good deal. This Metroidvania is set in a classic B-movie themed game where you play as actors, playing heroes, battling their way through a tower of deadly monsters, with the director providing funny commentary along the way. This is a really unique and awesome game. I had this game for free on PS Plus ages ago, back when I still had PS Plus, and I played it and really loved it. I wouldn't have bought the game normally, but I really enjoyed it while playing it. The theme is really cool as well. If you like those old B-movie sci-fi shows like the old Flash Gordon show or something like that, this will be so nostalgic and cool for you. But in general, it's just a really good Metroidvania game, and you don't see many 3D Metroidvania ones, especially with the top-down perspective. It's really different and unique. Basically, it's just a good quality game with a lot of unique and different twists to it, which is awesome. So if you're a fan of Metroidvania, highly recommended, definitely check it out. And hey, if you've never played a Metroidvania before, then you could start here. It may be a bit different to most, as most of them are 2D. But hey, this is a really good game with a really cool theme, and I really loved playing it, so it's just a good quality game. If you like the theme of it, definitely take a look. But if not, you can always pick up a different game in a different sale instead. And the final game I have for you is the Zombie Army Trilogy. It was released in 2015, so it's 9 years old, and it's on a 90% discount for the low price of £4.49, which is a pretty good deal, as this trilogy includes remasters of the first 2 Zombie Army games, which were originally standalone expansions for the Sniper Elite series, along with the new 3rd game as well, so again the complete lot for a really good deal, which is great. In this third-person shooter, set in the dying flames of World War II, a legion of undead super soldiers have been unleashed upon Europe, and it features 3 campaigns across 15 levels in the irradiated wastes of Germany, and it even includes 4-player online co-op as well, which is really great. It'd be nice to see local co-op as well, But hey, if you're looking for a game to play with friends, this is a really good one. And it even supports stereoscopic 3D as well, so if you've got a 3D TV, that'll be really cool. I still have an old 3D TV, and I used to love playing games like Killzone in 3D. I know VR is all the rage now, but 3D was really good while it was around. It's just a shame more games didn't support it. And if any of you have got a PSVR and this game, let me know if the stereoscopic 3D works in VR, because I'm really interested if it does, because there's no reason it shouldn't. Anyway, this game series is based on the Sniper Elite series, which is a really good game franchise. So you know the shooting and gameplay generically is really good. So basically, whether you like this game or not, it's going to depend whether you want a zombie game and whether you want a game that's based for multiplayer. So if you've got a group of friends that you like playing games with, this is a really good game for you, with a ton of content and a load of levels to play as well. So you'll have a lot of fun with this. So if you like the sound of that, definitely take a look at it. I'm sure you'll have a lot of fun with your mates. And hey, if you've never played a third-person shooter before, then I wouldn't recommend starting here, unless you're looking for a game to play with mates, in which case take a look, but if not, you're much better off starting somewhere else instead. And luckily there's a huge amount of options in this genre, so I'm sure there'll be something else you can look at in another sale instead. And that's all the games I've got for the spring sale PSN sale. What did you think of the games I picked? Did I pick good ones or did I pick bad ones? And what about the star buy? Did it deserve it? Or should some other game have got it instead? Leave all your comments below and we can talk about it later. Anyway, I hope you guys found some cool games to play, but more importantly I hope you saved a lot of money. I'll see you in the next sale. Au revoir.